Hello. Hello and welcome to this video. This will be another short video on JavaScript and subclasses. So if you have not watched my previous videos on classes of JavaScript, you should preferably watch those because it is a continuation video in the playlist. So without further ado, let's get started. So we have a range class from our previous videos and range.prototype. You would also remember the span function, or it is not a class, but it is a function which can create objects. So we can create objects of type range and span. Now we did inherit this earlier. Now we did not have constructor. Okay. Now as you can see, we have a constructor for range, which is defined here. Constructor is range. But we don't want to inherit the same constructor because we have our own logic to do that. So we say that span.prototype.constructor is equal to span. And we have our own toString method because we want to override the toString method for span function. So we don't want to do that. Now, when you inherit this way, it is the old way. You should not use this kind of code in your new JavaScript functions. It is valid because of backward compatibility, but it is not, I would say, that is a good idea in the new ECMAScript 6 onwards because by they, I mean ES6 onwards, the specification allows you to create classes and subclasses using extends. So there is no output. This is just to signify that you can define your own constructor because you don't want to use the parent class constructor and you don't want to use toString method from the parent, so you can define our own. So that is the only discussion we wanted to have. I wanted to have on the old style of classes. Now we will look at the new way of constructing classes. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, so now, for example, there is the array class. So we can create an easy array and we can define two getters. One will return the first item, the other will return the last item. Now, if you see, let me comment this out as well after this. Now, we are just adding two getter methods to the array. It is possible to extend from the existing built-in classes of JavaScript. It's not a good idea, but it is possible. So we can create a new easy array. And if you check, is it an instance of easy array? It will return true. Is it an instance of parent class? That will also be true. The push method will be inherited. The pop method will be inherited. The first and last getters which we have defined will work. And static methods like isArray. Note that it is invoked on the class, not on an object. So it is a static method. So this isArray will be inherited, and easyArray.isArray will also be true because the easyArray inherits the static method as well. So let's see this in action. This is classes 4. So we run this with node classes 4.js, and the output is as we expected. So now we proceed further and we comment this out. Now this was a very simple class. There is one more thing we need to discuss. So the thing which I've written here is easyArray inherits instance methods because easyArray.prototype inherits from array.prototype. So this will also be true. And easyArray inherits static methods and properties because easyArray inherits from array. This is a special feature of extends keyword and it's not possible before ES6. You cannot inherit static arrays just like that in old style. So, for example, we don't have a static method here. But you can try to inherit a static method before ECMAScript, and you'll see that it is problematic. Okay, so we comment this out, and now we will do a bit more complicated class. So for example, here we have a class type map, which we extend from the map class, built-in class, and the constructor takes three arguments: key type, value type, and entries. And if entries is defined, it looks at key value pairs of entries. Okay. If the type of k is not equal to key type or value v is not equal to v type, then we throw a type error, wrong type. And then we call the constructor, and then we set key type of this to key type and value type to value type. Now you see that we make the call of constructor and then call this. In inherited classes, it is not possible to call this before the constructor call of the parent class, because you want the parent class object to be constructed before referring to this keyword. Why it is so? Because this will may have members which refer to parent class, and those may not be initialized. So that is your reason. Now we see another example of a set class which takes a key value and it checks the types of key and value. So first it checks whether they are defined, and then checks if the key and value are of correct type. And we don't know how to set the key value pair in a map. It is a complicated process. So we simply call the super on this map that will set the key value properly. So this is important to understand that you cannot use this keyword before calling the parent class. Okay. And notice how you can call super on any derived class as well. Super is not necessarily to be called, I mean, by super, I mean, you can call any function of the parent class in the child class if you don't want to exactly override it. This is not a complete override. It is an override, but it is not override in full sense, in that we are making use of superset logic. Okay. If the logic is entirely made up of our own logic, we don't call the super function with the exception of constructor. Then we can say that it is a full override of the parent class. There is no technical term like full override or partial override. I'm just making it up. Okay. So this is what you need to be careful about. Also, when you call super, the constructor class, if it calls new.target, which we discussed earlier, then it will receive the child class's name. Okay. So that also you have to be careful about when you are debugging the code. So I think that's it for this video. In the next video, we will discuss more on classes of JavaScript. And if you want this code, I will paste this entire code as a gist and put it for you to study and experiment with it. So thanks a lot for watching the video, and we'll meet again after 4 days with another short video on classes of JavaScript. So please wait for that. And one more thing I wanted to show you is my question answer website. So that is kumjika.astra.org. You can come here and ask your questions related to JavaScript. We have a tab created for JavaScript. So you can come and join and help me build a community of programmers. Also, if you have someone staying in class 12, you can tell them to join here. We can discuss class 12 mathematics problems. So these are the two of the things which we do at Tumjika. One is the mathematics, another is mathematics till class 12, and other is programming. All languages are not listed here because I don't know all languages, so I cannot help with other C, C++, JavaScript, PostgreSQL, Python, Rust, and SQL. These are the areas where I can help. As the community will grow, I will add more tags as they know as the expertise increases. So these tags are the only things which I know. So These are the types. So do join the community, and we can help each other in learning more from each other. So once again, thanks a lot for watching the video, and I will meet you in the next one. Till then, keep learning, stay curious, and most importantly, enjoy.